I'm a professional guitar teacher, have been for many decades, and I research in the field of the performance mind. Hop on over to the channel trailer to learn a little bit more about me. This exercise is designed to teach you the 3 basic arpeggios that you need to play in all keys. They're given here with precise fingering and over 2 octaves, which makes it a little bit difficult for beginners. I will be producing a lot of material for beginners and older learners. That's coming. But for now, let's get stuck into the first arpeggio. So that was your basic 2-octave minor arpeggio. I'm not going to go too much into the theory during this lesson. I can do that in a future video. But essentially a minor arpeggio is composed of the first, the flat and third and the fifth notes of its respective major scale. That leaves the fingering for A minor in the context of this lesson as first finger 5th fret on the 6th string, that's your A note, that's your root. Little finger 8th fret on the 6th string, third finger 7th fret on the 5th string, little finger 7th fret on the 4th string, first finger 5th fret 3rd string, second finger 5th fret 2nd string, third finger 5th fret 1st string. Now you could lay your first finger across those last 3. That makes the arpeggio slightly easier, but for the purpose of this exercise and really for the best definition of notes, you should try and stick to the tips of your fingers where you can. You'll get better separation between those notes. Certainly if I was using the arpeggio in the context of a solo, I might be slip picking, and my first finger is just going to flatten across those top notes. But exercise, this is an exercise, you want to do it precisely. You don't make press-ups easier for yourself by doing them as little as possible or as lightly as possible. You want them to do you some good. And the same with this exercise. I'm using the tips of the fingers all the time to get that definition between the notes. Note as well when you're playing it like this, by the way, that you are essentially playing the notes of a minor bar chord with the addition of this third, which has to be left off when you're doing a bar chord, because you can't play 2 notes on the same string. And that means, remember on the way back that your little finger goes down first, then your third finger, then your little fingers go. It's very easy to intuitively put your third finger down and then you have to get your little finger round for that next note. So that's just a little tip. Remember to bring your little finger in first. There's a backing track for this exercise. It's primitive at the moment. I'm going to do different versions of it, but I'll leave a link in the description, perhaps at the end of the video as well. And the chord sequence that I'm using for that exercise starts with an A minor to a D minor. So that would mean you'd play the arpeggio there and then you jump to the 10th fret. To keep it timed right for the exercise, you count not less 1 ender, 2 ender, 3 ender, 4 ender. So the A is there, so you miss that root note on the way down and you go straight to the next arpeggios. 1 ender, 2 ender, 3 ender, 4 ender, jump. So you'll be starting something like that. Next arpeggio. So that was your basic major arpeggio over 2 octaves. The example I gave was G major. That's the first major chord that you'll come across in the backing tracks. That's why I changed to G major. And the fingering for that is going to be the second finger at the 3rd fret on the 6th string, followed by first finger, 2nd fret on the 5th string. Then you stretch to your third finger, 5th fret on the 5th string, little finger 5th fret on the 4th string, second finger 4th fret on the 3rd string, first finger 3rd fret on the 2nd string, second finger 3rd fret on the 1st string. That fingering really, again, follows the major bar chord shape that you would normally use. That's why you're stretching like this, because you'll end up with the kind of bar chord shape and sound something like that. Again, you could flatten across those last two, but for precision and for the sake of the exercise, we're going to be using the tips of the fingers. It's a good idea, by the way, to practice these arpeggios individually. There's the A minor one. I'm not picking up particularly cleanly. Note that I am using alternate down and up strokes, so I would go through it a few times very slowly, making sure that everything was precise. I could do the same thing for a major arpeggio. And then you can make up your own individual exercises. Perhaps going from that minor arpeggio that I showed you first to the major arpeggio that I showed you second. That's true for the backing track exercise. Split them up, compartmentalise. So you might practice the A minor arpeggio first, gradually speeding that up, and then you might practice the jump between the A minor and the D minor. You could do them each one twice or just once. So practice in small sections until you're fluent. Up and down strokes of the plectrums, down, up, down, up, down, up. So major arpeggio looks like that. On to the next arpeggio. So that was the last arpeggio pattern that you need to learn for this particular exercise. The minor flat 5 is often referred to as being a diminished arpeggio. The term diminished is actually a bit ambiguous when you're talking about chords and arpeggios. I could do a whole host of videos on diminished scales and chords, arpeggios, and probably will, because they sound great and they're extremely useful. For the time being, the fingering that we need for this particular arpeggio is it's a B7, it's a B minor flat 5, so it's first finger 7th fret 6th string, little finger 10th fret 6th string, second finger 8th fret 5th string, third finger 9th fret 4th string, first finger 7th fret 3rd string, little finger 10th fret 3rd string, and then you skip over the B string, the 2nd string, to get to that 7th fret on the 1st string with your first finger. And like I say, that's the last arpeggio we need in this sequence. I'm now going to put the complete exercise up with tabs, so you can use that as a self-contained unit. I do recommend that you practice the arpeggios individually, try and get them smooth. It doesn't matter how slow you have to play them to begin with, just make sure you're using the right finger, you're using down and up strokes of the plectrum, and then gradually build the speed up of each particular arpeggio. And then link them, start doing like one chord to another chord, one arpeggio to another arpeggio, and then when you're comfortable, hop over to the backing track, which is primitive at the moment. There's going to be lots of different versions of that backing track, but you can hop over to the one that I will link to at the end of the video, or it'll be in the description below, and then you can practice the whole exercise time and time again against that backing track, which I hope you'll find useful. Here's the complete exercise. So I hope you found the exercise useful. It's certainly worth spending some time with, because it is teaching you those 3 essential arpeggios. But while you're learning those arpeggios, you are also developing technique. It's quite difficult to pick alternate down and up between strings when you're doing these different arpeggios, particularly that diminished arpeggio you might find slightly difficult, skipping over that B string, etc. They are all worth spending some time with, and they could be part of a daily routine of exercise. This channel is still fairly new. I'm experimenting with the different standards and the different types of videos that I'm producing. Please leave any comments below. I've only got a few subscribers, certainly not enough for me to be prominent in search engines, and so it's very useful to know who I'm talking to, and what you might want as tuition. I'll definitely be able to pay attention, so please leave those comments. If the video's been helpful, just click on like, that also helps me, and subscribe if you want to be notified of future videos. If you listen to my video trailer, click on the picture of me or whatever it is for my channel, and click on the trailer, which I'll update sooner or later, but it does tell you a little bit about me, and you might find some stuff that will give you a clue as to what kind of videos I really want to be making. The trouble is, when you've only got a few subscribers, so I'll finish in a minute, is that whatever you produce gets bumped up in a search engine for maybe a couple of days, and then it disappears forever. So I'm hoping that this stuff that I'm producing at the moment is helpful, but it's not what I really want to be showing you. Please subscribe, and who knows, you may get something very useful in the future. Hit that notification button, and that will tell you when I upload a video. The notification button, it's the bell, and then you have to, well, you probably know. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the future. Thank you.